Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for coming to the Westborough Garden Club's beautiful holiday on parade. It's one of the biggest annual events that Westborough does as a club, and also all the services to the community as well. This morning we're going to do quite a type of variety, anything from modern to traditional to perhaps something in between as well. The selection of plant material, the majority of it came from the Chelsea Flower Mart in Chelsea. So that's where a lot of the products have come from. Hopefully you'll find some ones perhaps you have never seen, some plant material that you can utilize that does really enhances your home. Also makes you feel so good between the colors, the forms, the shapes, the textures. There's so much within a flower, within a bloom, even within a leaf itself, with the camellias, etc. So what I've done is I've tried to get a little ahead of myself here. This is a really pretty ceramic container that caught my eye, mainly because of the movement and the dimension of front to back for depth as well. And that was one of the reasons I chose this. This is a very modern type design. And modern and traditional, the difference is you'll see the difference in the type of plant material that you use and also the type of containers as well. You'll find that in the modern, very creative, less is more. In other words, you'll see not much plant material, but enough to enhance, enough to entice, and enough to give beauty to a space within your home or your garden. So what I chose, again, for the movement and the dimensional choice is I've taken, these are beautiful Gloriosa lilies. They're from Japan, and they're absolutely exquisite. They have such vivid color, brilliant shapes, and just so fluffy and bright. It just brings your attention directly to it. And if you hadn't felt good, well, you would the minute you saw your Gloriosas, that's for sure. Also, I have some umbrella pine, again, to add a little different texture to the overall designs. And so I've just tucked in a tad bit of that. And then we have Esplendia leaves. These leaves are quite long for foliage. Let me see if I have one here. As you can see, they're quite large. And they're beautiful for both sides, if you take a look at it, okay? So you could actually reverse back and forth and utilize any type of sector. See what that adds? Now, if you take that and you put that against a beautiful spray of Cymbidium, you see what happens? It draws out the colors. It also draws out the textural art within the Esplendia itself. So they're quite useful. They're very flexible, and they have a long life term. That's for sure. So that's what I did here. Basically, a turn, a cut on both of the stems. This way, straight up, straight over, and straight out. And that gives you a more slender, less to take up room within the container itself. And then basically what I've done is I've tucked and wrapped. They're very flexible. Your hands are very warm, and that'll add flexibility. You do it very gently to shape your plant material. And so that's what I've done. I've rounded, textured, and came through, and then point within the, and that's how these have been created. These are, what you have in here is 2 Esplendia leaves, just 2. Maybe look like more. But again, it's nice and creative design to repeat, to be a repetitive motion, where this is type of circular, etc. I wanted to repeat that pattern to accent and enhance the container itself. And then I added the beautiful Gloriosa. And they really do. They speak for themselves. They're such a, just so beautiful, very glamorous, etc. So you can actually, I've made it so you could actually turn it. Sometimes when you turn your design, depending on the placement of the design, you will be able to tell how you want it to look when someone comes in. When we're judged, they stand out 3 feet, that's as far as they can go, and they need to judge, and however they place the design, it's either going to enhance it or it's not going to enhance it. So don't be afraid to kind of move it around. Again, look at your placement area, and then complete your design, and also always complete it so you can use it from both areas, from front to back, side to side, left to right. So that is my first design. And these designs will be part of the drawing as well. Now, I have... What? I'm sorry, dear.
We were just wondering, that beautiful vessel, the porcelain vessel, is that something that can be converted?
Yes, it's very slender in here, okay, in the neckline here, but I have filled it with water. But also always, as you probably don't know, is to always spritz your plant material, especially on a small neck like that, rather than insertion. It's always this. This brings them and sprouts them back to life and gives it the moisture it needs along with the bit that it gets within the container itself.
She's asking where you get the vessel. Where did you buy the container?
I'll give you 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count. Home Goods, exactly. TJ Maxx Home Goods. And they have, it just depends. Places like that, you have to go all the time, and look and look and look, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I'll spot something. And that's usually how it happens. I do have some, which I don't have any today, but I do have a beautiful collection of, in particular, Japanese containers. And they are made by a couple. One is from Japan, and she is from here. It's Keiko and David, and it's called Catalpa Pottery. And they're in Ohio. And they do exquisite stonework, and they work with designers, etc. Keiko and David have been designing, I'd say, at least 30 years. And the combination of the 2 talents, Keiko is amazing. I'm sorry I didn't bring some of her containers. But in any case, if you're looking for something extraordinary for your home, it'll be a very iconic piece that they do. So that's where that is from. Okay, just to switch it up a little. Does anybody know what this wreath is made of? You know what this is?
Blueberry twigs.
It's your
Blueberry twigs?
pussy willow?
They said blueberry.
This is pussy willow. Yes, pussy willow type. And once to get it this type, they're all laid in a tub of warm water to give it flexibility, so that you again will be able to shape however you want it. I've seen them done in triangular. Again, I love the circle or the olive because it gives a lot more movement. Again, movement is very strict, but also spacing as well. And you can put just about anything on here. What I was looking at, if you wanted to put it on the door, there's so many ways you could hang it. You could hang it this way. you could hang it that way. If you switched it here, or you wanted to angle it corner to corner. So there's a lot of variation that you can use. I did use, these of course are silk formations. And so the reason I did that was because it doesn't work well. We could have used water tubes to replace your greenery and things like that. But the more I thought about it, I said, no, let's give this a try and see if it works. And again, I love it. I don't know whether you do or not, but it's a lot of work. Twist and turn, you get a frame, a wire frame, which you can get at Michael's or the dollar store or a lot of places like that. And then, like I said, just take the branches after the little pussy willows fall off. Keep your branches, put them in a tall container, and then when you're ready to do shape and form, at that time, just take them out, bring them out, do it the shape you have in mind, and then tie to the wreath form itself and go from there. So that is a, what I'd like to call just a really pretty holiday wreath. It's not overcrowded, it expresses beauty and harmony, and I hope one of you will with us. We're going to try this little container. What attracted me is not only the metallicness of it, but the striations, because they are vertical and they are also round, horizontal, circular, and it has little specks amongst it to perhaps enhance a little spacing to look at. In other words, you're not looking at a solid color. You're looking at a flaked color on the container. Now this is just a cage that I've placed on the container, and what I'm using to keep it on there is what's called U-glue dashes. These are wonderful for a myriad of things because it's, as long as your plant material is dry and clean, you can use plant material to plant material. You can use, as I have, the plastic to the glass, and what I did is I put those dashes all the way around the top, and that secures the container. It also gives you a place of starting for your design, in particular for your line materials. And lines are very important in design because it basically starts the performance and the design itself. And you make, that's usually the first thing you utilize. And this is some eucalyptus, I almost forgot. I always have to think of the pandas. And then I remember the word eucalyptus. Sorry. But anyhow, it gives you a starting point as to where you want to structure your container and your design. So I'm looking at coming around with the eucalyptus and maybe adding some other ones as well. Let's see here what we have. Now this is also, there's so many different types of eucalyptus now. It's amazing how many there are. Look at this pretty. Isn't that pretty? And it's got a light tinge, beige, creamy color of bark. So I'm going to place a few of these. Now see if you want something very, very full, and you can place it down in here, and then turn this way. Depends what you want to do and how you want to create and what you want your design to say to the viewer. And we'll take this down and try this, see if this will hold onto the structure. Don't breathe. So we'll continue with a little bit more eucalyptus, and then we're going to switch to something else here. This is going to be a combination of maybe traditional with a little creativity as well placed within the design, so that you have more flexibility of placement as to where you would like to have it done. See, we're coming around, and see, and that's a wonderful mechanic to have, because it lessens the requirement for Oasis. Oasis is trying very hard to keep on improving their product so it will be earth-friendly. You know, because now it's frowned upon, but it's gotten a lot better, much better. Okay. The colors here. Now I'm going to take I believe, let's try some orchids for the color. Again, you want to snip, snip, always twice.
Why twice?
Because it'll get excellent hydration. Now, I have not placed water in here, but I will after it's done, but just a little. But to enhance it that way, let's see here. Yeah. Trying to massage it so it doesn't snap. We have a disaster, okay. And I'm going to add one more, as because of the size of the container, I think it could take a heavier form. So therefore, while making your design, you need to keep that in order as well. How do you want it? Are you going to lose your rhythm? You don't want to lose your rhythm. So I am using not only the cage, but also the U-glue that's on top. So you see what's happening. You've got a small manued crescent there. So, okay, let's see. What else do we think we want to put in there? Anybody have any suggestions? This is your workshop as well. Would you like, now, this will be the difference between busy and overdoing. Even though this is a beautiful leaf, and with a little bit of clipping here and there, it could have been the major within the center or the design. However, if we did that, it'd just look all smushed. You know, it looks like you're stuffing, trying to get it in there. So that's the reason we didn't use that. Now what we want though is we want a little bit of smooth leaf, because you have a lot of different size. So I'm going to take some camellia. And we're going to clip that as well. These camellias happen to have some buds, so that always makes it much more interesting. You see what's happening? It's not getting busy. What that's going to add is smoothness to the design. What we're trying to do as we go along is we try to enhance, not take away. Enhance, not take away. So that when you look at that, when you look at the finished product, you're going to be able to see every type of plant material in there. That's why space is so very important in design as well. Now, I'm going to take a little bit, just a little bit of this umbrella plant. And again, I love the flow, this open spaceness. And let's take another one. What do we have here? Always in ones, threes. How we coming? Good?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. All right. Maybe just one more, a smaller, but just to pick up the form again within the design itself. Okay. Now, this is aspidistra, or it's known as a cast iron plant. This will last you forever. If you let this dry, it will. It dries almost the color of the orchids, or Yosemitean orchids. And it's very flexible. The more you keep it in water, if you want to flex, you have to keep it in water longer. If you want it a rigid form, then you leave it less in water. But this, like I say, you wouldn't have to probably water this for about a month or so. It'll be fine. And that's why they call it the cast iron plant, or aspidistra. And I'm going to try and do here is I'd like to weave it in and out through here, in and out, in and out, in and out, to make it go around, to again give it another smooth neck. So I'm going to twist, and tuck. Twist and tuck. You that have beautiful, slender, long fingers, you're definitely at an advantage. Mainly because I have such a heavy hand that sometimes it's difficult for me to manipulate the plant material. But that's what I want. That's what I'm trying to obtain, is a beautiful, twisted, another element within it itself. And we'll twist and twist. And tie. There. And then we're going to take just some beautiful Gaelic leaves. These are beautiful filler leaves. And you can also make rosettes from them by placing them this way. Cross over. I've seen rose formations made like this as well. And you just keep on going round and round. See what's happening? You're making your own flower. You're making your own form for enhancement. Oh, the right one. There we go. Good. You can tie it, and you can tie it off here, or you can use them singly or whatever. But these are also an enhancer for around the neckline as well. So we're going to take it, clip it a little off here. And all of these will do beautifully if you spritzer your plant material. They'll last a long time. What I'm doing is I'm using the cage as my mechanic for this. And a couple more. I think we'll close it off. There we go. And we've got it almost secured. Thanks. Now I look at it from approximately like that for flow, also for movement. You should be able to go through the design and your eye will automatically follow the shape and the form within the design itself. That's how you know you have a good design as well. And I'm going to, the only other thing I wanted to see what you thought was the poppies, the dried poppies, the sprayed, the little poppy heads. See what you think about it. And like they say, when in doubt, leave it out. If you have to really hem and haw and think about it, 9 out of 10 times you don't really need it in the design. And I'm just going to place one more, just right, one more in that area, blank there, to give you your eye a resting point as well. There you go. You like it? There you go. All right. And I'm going to use just a plain red base. Now that's from the Boston plum, not the old Boston plum, Jacobson's. Jacobson's is still there. Again, this will need to have water placed in it. But I think what we're going to do with this, we have just this one and another one to go. I was looking at Anthurium and Dianthus green trick. Okay, this is a carnation. This is a muted carnation. That's what family it belongs in. But it is a dianthus, and the color is called green trick. It lasts a long time. When you purchase it, it's really closed tight. But the minute you place it in water, it just boop, and puffs up like this. So I thought we'd try some, as I said, let's try some Anthurium. Now Anthuriums you can use quite a bit and use them differently as well. If you want to give them, they have such beautiful form and elegance. But if you wanted to change them or change the look, you could do that as well by puffing. This one's not going to do it. Let's try this one. It just doesn't make it quite as much movement, a little flatter, etc., depending where you want. Now, when you use anthuriums, the best thing for them to be done is to use them uniformly, meaning you don't want to have this. You want them to face directly the same. And that's what's going to create your line within the design. So that's what we're going to do. I didn't put any oasis in here. Let's try it without oasis. Place it in the left. The other thing is when you cut, if you turn your flower upside down, and wherever you cut it, that's where your flower is going to be seen. Okay, so if I cut it to here, you'll see the flower just over the lip. See? It was too long before. And we're going to do the same thing here. Now, I'm going to place it a little bit higher, elevated, because I want to put it in between here to give some form and shape to the entire design. And do that. Let's see if that lands well. Ah, there it is. So there you have it. You have them at three different degrees, if you will, of your design. I don't have oasis in, but that gives you the idea of the form and the shape. Okay. I'm going to almost make this a monochromatic. Now we've got a nice waxy, wavy thing. Let's do a little powder puff, bushy type thing, and let's add those to the mixture and see what happens. See if we like it. And we need some more. And then I'm going to add a few white carnation. Just one of these. Some carnation again. Beautiful white. A little bit fragrant. And just to break up, because we're not making a monochromatic design, which is basically using all the same shades, all the reds or all the oranges, etc. We're trying to get some depth and some perception within the design itself. Don't be afraid to handle your plant material. And one more we'll add, as I said, to threes. Place it right in between your anthurium. Too close. There we go. And let's see, what am I missing? There's something I'm missing in here. I know, there they are. These are red anemone. And that's what I wanted to add to it. Because we definitely don't want to leave they're similar to a poppy. Do you all design at your home and make your floral designs? Yes. I bet you do. You know, everyone's got a lot of talent and creativity. You know, we use it every morning when we get up. We look in the mirror and we go, you know, is that really me? But what do you do about it? You go and you go to your closet, you pick out your slacks, you pick out your sweater. Shall I wear makeup or shan't I wear makeup? You know, and the jewelry, etc. Well, basically, you're doing the same thing in floral design. You're doing the exact same thing in floral design. And that's what you got to think about. What's beautiful? Don't make a design you don't like, okay? Because no matter how much you spend on the materials, etc., if you don't like it, then it's not going to make you happy, and it will not be a fulfilling experience for you. I think that's all that needs. What do you think? Or do you think it needs some more? Just what you have. Great. We have this. This will be our last design. Can you tell I like sparkles? I really do. I have a lot of fun with sparkles and color in particular. So we're going to try a little experiment. There. And then I'm going to take this one. To add a little elegance. Maybe for New Year's, maybe for a beautiful wedding anniversary, etc. So that's how I'm going to start off with. These are, as you will know, smoky glass flecks, etc. And these are just regular wired balls with a little garland feature there. And what I would like to do with those is I think we're going to try some. We're going to use red, okay? Red and purple. So I think the goal is to perhaps take our gloriosas and marry them with the beautiful roses we have here. Keep on misplacing my tools. Sorry. Are they on the floor?
I think one fell at your
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. What happened to all my tools? That's what I'm looking for. So I want to place this. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to enhance, correct? Make the beauty that you've started with grow exponentially. The gloriosas are an exercise in patience. They really are. Because they have a tendency to stick and twine together. So that's what it does. Now this is a really rather large, but we do not have to really clip it. I clipped it just a tad. There we go. Come on, all the way down. That thing is, what I'm doing is basically flattening the nodes. The nodes are getting caught in between the wires, so that's a good way to get rid of them. Let's try that again. Now, take it down a notch. Now let's try some of these. Gorgeous. Aren't those roses beautiful? They're really, and they're velvet. They're just like velvet when you touch them. Yeah. If you see, when you remove a petal, make sure you remove it all the way down, and you feel like a little pop crunch. See, and it comes out, whereas if you pull, you're going to pull quite a few petals all at once. So what you want to do is be very careful. If you do that, there's a little wilting there, and you're going to take it so it's clear and clean. Okay. Now, what are we actually doing when we're designing? Enjoying yourself. You look too serious. You look too serious. It's really a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And that's what this is. This is strictly, even though I am trained, this is strictly a hobby for me, for my release. When I get frustrated about something, I go right down into my flower design room at home. And I just forget about everything, and this will relax you, just make you feel absolutely wonderful. I'm going to add a couple more roses. Roses are the same way. Remember, for roses, you've got to clip twice. These are quite woody, rather than thing. If you'll take a look at the stem, it's quite woody. So you're going to take it, you're going to cut it again, and immediately place it in water. Do not hesitate to do that, because what happens if you hesitate placing roses immediately in water after you've clipped them, they form an air bubble within the stem, and that will stop the water to the rose. So it's important to do that as well. Now we've got a little thorn here, and I'm going to come right down to the back here. All the way in. There we go. Turn it around a little so you'll see what's happening. Two more, and then the only other thing I want to touch up with that is perhaps a little bell of Ireland to add more greenery, and again, another texture, form, and shape. That is, I've got that where you follow this way. The reason why I placed it there is you're going to go up, down, and up, and around, and you're going to come right around, and you'll end up back here and then back down again. That's the movement, the creativity for movement within a design. It just depends. You may want it to stay absolutely straight, and that's fine as well. It's what you like. Make a design you like that you create. And then, let's take a look and see if we really want this or not. Nah, too busy, right? Too busy for this design. Too busy for this design. Now, see, if you do this,
Yeah. No, just in the middle.
I like this.
Just extend this to side with the eyes. Oh, that's good. That looks good.
Do you think we've done enough to it, or does it need more? Hey, yes? No? More? Again, this is another creative design. You know what's hard? Everybody has their own different tastes when they design and things, their own textual benefits. But as long as you have beautiful color, movement, you haven't overstuffed your container so that it all crunches up together like this, and that's what it looks like, see? No air, no form, or anything like that. So you want to avoid that. I'm sorry, I can stuff all over that.
It makes me want to dress up.
But, yeah, exactly.
Like I need to dress up and go somewhere.
Oh, I forgot. I have forgotten something.
Dress on.
I forgot. Then again, placement is by the eye. If you don't like it, take it out. If you don't like it, yes, you can look. Good. That's all right. Can you hear me?
No.
Without it? Oh, do you want me? Yeah. I don't know. All set? Oh, there we are. Back on stage. Okay. Now, just by adding a few baubles, again, formality and eclectic design. Okay? And I think that's all you need if someone needs there. I hope I have imparted some knowledge for you this afternoon, this morning, whatever it is.